let's start off with Doctor Who. You know, that's the prominent story going on right now, and
I'm so
it's
happy
also
to talk about that. I can see myself in Doctor Who.
can you?
Oh.
He's black now, so I don't know.
I'm not. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. I didn't even know who Doctor Who was before 2
I'm
years.
with you, Trish.
Good.
No, guys. I mean,
Good.
I have to
black
admit,
shared
it
Doctor
hasn't
Who.
wasn't my most favorite.
It's one
product
of the ones that, like, a lot of people don't seem to realize Doctor Who went really far down the woke rabbit hole
Oh.
before even The Last Jedi came out. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it beat Star Wars to the punch by about a year, pissing everybody off, and it happened for a few years before that. Like, so
Even
I mean,
people like John Cleese were complaining about the fact that Doctor
Yes.
Who was going bogus way
Absolutely.
before the main wave of Vogue actually started. And
I mean,
there
when
you
they-
had. Mhm.
no, go on.
No, I mean Doctor Who to me was one of those major red flags. Because I thought to myself, even though I wasn't a huge fan of the product, I saw some episodes that I didn't really catch, and some episodes really have blown me away. And so I wasn't like a huge fan, but I enjoyed it. To me, it was always great watching Doctor Who because it's always it's like Twilight Zone. You never know what you get, but it's always kind of different and interesting. And therefore, I was kind of following from there. And to me, I knew that Doctor Who is a holy grail to you Brits. So if you are daring to touch such a holy grail, that means you are in power. And therefore, I was concerned because I realized, oh my God, if they're starting with Doctor Who, this is one of the biggest players in the game, and in terms of IP, in terms of culture.
It's like the royal family. That's how
Yeah.
British it is. That's how
Yeah.
like tied into our fucking culture the show is.
I mean, that was a shock.
For when you consider that it's a show about a guy from another planet who travels around time and space in a phone booth that is bigger on the inside and has crazy fantastical adventures, you wouldn't think, oh well, that sounds very, very British, but watch it. It is exceedingly British. It's as British as tea and
Yeah, but
fucking
it's
scones.
super fucking funny.
And it's great fun. It was a great fun show. And
Yeah.
one of the things that really pissed me off the first announcement that they were in fact going to have the Doctor regenerate into a woman like 6-7 years ago was that you've lost a male role model for young boys, because the Doctor doesn't do things the way that you'd normally see in action movies or adventure. There's no guns. He doesn't very often hit people or anything like that.
Right.
He solves these problems and beats the bad guys by being smarter than them, by being better educated, being prepared, and having
by using the circumstances into his favor. Right, he's a smart guy. Yeah.
That was it. So it was. I was disappointed for like little boys who are going to have like they've lost this role model. It's been taken from them. But then of course they just went hell for leather at breaking the lore, the history of the character, and everything remotely associated with it. Excuse me, that's a fucking alarm.
Beautiful. Man.
I thought that was Leona.
I was gonna say
little pre-Christmas
ringtone. I was thinking that was Leona, but
it did sound like it, didn't it?
It's moon time for Leona.
I'm gonna call out.
It did sound like
My
that,
alarm
didn't it?
screams, "Wake up, homo!"
I genuinely thought that.
Wake up, homo! That's really relevant. It says Double Whiskey for 2. New season of Doctor Who was filmed in the Senate. Yeah.
Probably.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Secret's out. I'm on the production crew.
So before my stupid first alarm went off there, which is the gentle one, the second one is like heavy metal to make sure I'm awake. It's true. It was a real fucking annoying thing when they went in and they decided we're going to change the history of the character. We're going to do everything we possibly can to undermine the actors who've played the Doctor throughout the years and break the story. And then the show was basically dead. The fans had walked away. The fans had vanished. So then they announced that they were bringing back the guy who had initially saved the show in 2005 by bringing it back, the guy who made it as big as it got. And they were bringing back David Tennant, who had played the 10th Doctor, which was by far the peak of Doctor Who in terms of popularity worldwide. Then they proceeded to have that Doctor get emasculated, come out of the closet as gay. Everybody in it is preaching to him about trans this and pride that. And it just, by the end, it just became an absolute farce. And now the final blow has been dealt when the regeneration of the Doctor into the new Doctor retroactively fucks all the other regenerations and means that all of the previous actor, doctor, whatever's
Sure.
are all alive at the same time. The stakes are gone. The universe.
But would there be a way of bringing him back? Is there any way to reconstruct this after this mess? If you
Somebody came up with an idea that you could, I mean, you either have the 12th Doctor wake up and it was all a dream. He never became a woman.
That's such a cop.
I have a
Wow.
question. I have a
Will-
question, Will. I was told today there's only supposed to be 12 regenerations of the Doctor, and that they eliminated the female Doctor because technically she's the 13th.
Initially, yeah, they had to find a pretty clever
Interesting.
way to retcon that to give the Doctor more regenerations. Initially, they're only supposed to be able to regenerate 12 times, or 13. 13 bodies, 12 regenerations in between. But that's been messed with a little bit here and there in the show. Like the 10th Doctor got his hand cut off when he first became the 10th Doctor, and then it grew back because he was still regenerating. So he kept his extra hand around in a jar. And then when he got shot, he started to regenerate. So he just pointed the energy at his hand and regenerated back into himself. So he didn't change actors. It was a bait and switch. It was like a cliffhanger one week, but that technically did spend one of his regenerations. So then,
That sounds like an absolute mess.
Yeah. That was actually when the show was doing stuff like this clever.
I would probably understand it a little bit better, but unfortunately, I'm not a Doctor Who fan.
Just give it the Final Fantasy 14 treatment at this point. Just end it all in some big cataclysm, and then he wakes up in that dimension.
That was epic, though.
That was
I want to talk. I want to talk about this real quick. Hold on. So now this leak that they're talking about, right? About Ncuti Gatwa's, freaking ultra gay, whatever. This is the new Doctor. For those, I'm just making the screen bigger. This is the new Doctor. For those who don't know, I'm sure everybody knows who's watching. Obviously, Ncuti Gatwa is going to take over as the 15th Doctor. But apparently, the leak is confirming that he is going to fall in love with a male love interest of a female in the show. Is that right, Will? It's kind of like a love triangle sort of a thing that's going on now.
Well, he's gonna have a female assistant or companion. But then he's going to end up having a love interest who's a man as well, apparently, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm looking for where it says.
Like, what is
this? I'm waiting for.
So it says, showrunner Russell T Davies is supposedly looking to move away from the expected romance between a Time Lord and his female companion, and a love triangle is unexpected. So it looks like he's going to just be solely into dudes.
I love the time when people were thinking about a show in terms of, hey, we don't have any creative critical mass anymore at our disposition to feed the show after 10 years. Let's finish the show. It was a nice, successful run. Thank you so much to our audience. And not reinventing shows based on, all right, let's have him change his sex and be in her. She changes sex as well. So they have a triangular type of situation. With both. It's like, what the fuck is this? Like,
I can give you an answer to that. There is this show on Netflix that obviously will never get a second season. It was one called Half Bad, The Bastard Son and the Devil Himself. Basically, in that show, they do this exact thing you are telling me, where for some reason, the main character is either gay already or becomes gay / bisexual halfway through the show. And then they're probably going to rope in that female character so that she becomes a love interest too. She's just kind of there as the third wheel anyway. Right. They're going to try to do that. I'm sorry.
I got a headache. This sounds like...
How does that answer the question, Dragon?
No, I'm just telling him that's what's going to happen. That's what they're going to try to do because they all repeat the same shit.
Dr. Homosexual coming to you live on BBC One.
No, Doctor Metrosexual.
One of those.
But you know what annoys me though is that when this comes out, right? Whenever they tend to make a prominent character of a TV show gay or whatever, you're gonna have a whole bunch of websites out there with writers that are gonna be reaching to the moon to try to find any excuse to say that the show was always gay, that it was always queer, it was always this or whatever. And I'll give you an example because I found one already. I didn't think I would, but Digital Spy apparently put out an article saying that Doctor Who's Doctor has always been queer. So
Yeah, I
what's
did
the
a video
problem?
about that.
You know, you get these articles, and it really is a far reach because they always mention things. It's kind of like when they said that Link was always trans or always whatever,
Yeah.
you know, always
Like,
queer.
when
Godzilla was always
Godzilla was always a LGBTQ, like whatever. They try to find ways to make these characters into LGBTQ icons, and it's like, bro, why are you reaching so far? Like you're literally Mr. Fantastic. You're reaching so unbelievably far, it's ridiculous, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like you would just be better off just running off with your new, you know, you want to call it woke, you want to call it progressive, whatever. Like I think Shooty Gatwa called it a leftist bubble thing, whatever.
He did, yeah.
You would be better off just running off with that. You know what I mean? Don't go reaching so far that you're just obviously fucking lying, because people not going to take what you say seriously at all.
No, they don't. Doctor Who fans especially are extremely passionate. They really are.